Hello, people. Who's ever here so far, I appreciate you showing up. Thank you very much. And if you have any trouble hearing me or anything, please let me know. I'm going to talk about a couple things. Yesterday was a very eventful day. And I'll be honest with you, I was going to come on here and talk about Jeff. But right before this show, Jeff called me and we talked it out a little bit. So I don't like Jeff. He doesn't like me. There's no secret about that. But you know what? To be honest, he reached out to me. So, I guess that I got to cut that part of the show out now, just out of respect for the fact that he called me. And so I will not be talking about Jeff, but I will be talking about Mob Rat. So if you are a fan of Mob Rat, I don't know what I'm going to say to you, but I just got to be straight about Mob Rats. Okay, Mob Rat says that he's here to fight the rats. Last night when he was on his show, all he talked about was me. And pretty rough too. And I'm not a rat, but I want to point something out. I'm going to show you something, and I want to explain this. So what I'm going to do, 2 days ago, he did a show with Angel. And here's what he wrote on the clip note to his show. Angel joins us to speak on the attack she has endured from Alite and his pals. Very sad how Alite and his pals had attacked the Gotti family online. They attacked all Angel's friends on her IG, made gross sexual pages on this woman and her late husband and kids. They attacked anyone who was friends with her. Alite and his pals should stop this. Okay. So you've seen that. That's a show from 2 days ago. When I came out yesterday and talked about exactly what I was doing, hold on one second. I'll put this down. When I talked about what I was doing, the first thing that the person that was putting up that page did, they contacted me and they told me they were taking the page down. And they told me to tell Angel they'll never put it up again. And the page is down now. So even if people disagree with everything I did, the fact of the matter, that page is down now. And it's based on the evidence that I got that this person was doing that page. And the reason that I decided 2 weeks ago to go on that side was because they put up a page about me being a pedophile. So that's why I did this. A full page of me being a pedophile. Then they went after Jeff Canarsie as a pedophile. Then they put this horrible stuff up about Angel Gotti, horrible stuff. And they've been doing it forever. But you know what? That page is down now. So Mob Rat should have said that. But you see, it's not about, with Mob Rats, it's not about the rats. He's a troll. Anybody that doesn't like him, he attacks. If you go into his room and you question him, he calls you all sorts of names. He has a vile mouth. He's a phony. And Mob Rat, I don't care what kind of show you do on me. I'm the stupid old man. You call me every damn name in the book. Tell me I'm 74 years old. But dude, you're a phony. You're not in this for the rats. You're in this to troll. So I'm challenging you, Mob Rats. Explain to me why one show you would talk about how horrible this page is, and then I'm the one that gets it taken down, and you still go after me. You know why, dude? Because you're a phony. And I told you that last night. I've been telling you that for months. For the month you've been here. You're not about the rats, dude. You're about fighting anybody you don't like. And you know what you're going to do tonight? Your next show, you're going to attack me some more. That's what you're going to do. But you know what? I don't care, because that page is down. That makes me feel really good. Angel's been going through hell with that page, and it was pathetic. So I like to talk about last night when Jeff and I went at it on both Sicilian's page. Nobody should judge Sicilian for taking that page down. I mean, he decided to take the show down, and it's his property, and he felt like it was the right thing to do. There's a lot of, he's catching a lot of grief for that. He really shouldn't catch grief for that. The reality is he lost money by taking that down. And that's what it comes down to. So if he lost money taking down his page, he must have really felt like it was the right thing to do. And, this is the problem. I don't need to be arguing or fighting with Bald Sicilian. Bald Sicilian and I came on here as total outsiders, and we're doing okay. I mean, I'm getting great watch time, and Sicilian's getting a lot of subscribers. So we're doing well. Now, you'll hear people say, oh, my show's dying and all that. But before the Alite interview, I had 1.6 1.6 subscribers, and now I'm up to one more subscribers. I need to hit 1.8. So if you're not a subscriber, please hit it. So I actually gained 200 subscribers since the interview. I haven't lost 500 like people are saying. That whole thing of losing those subs was all BS. It was basically being set up by John Alite, but I knew he was setting me up. The man's twisted. And that's one of the things I'm going to talk about. Is I got a lot of information on how that whole system works with the Alites. They talk and talk and talk. You can't get them to shut up. If somebody was undercover and you wanted to get someone to talk, I mean, they talk more than Ruggiero did when he got them all in trouble, when he got Paul Castellano in trouble. I mean, that's how much they talk. They don't shut up. And I got some really good, some good stuff on Jimmy Alite. Jimmy Alite is like the wayward brother. He's like the brother that feels like he's left out in the cold. That's the feeling I got from the guy. But he has a wicked side to him. I mean, the way they decide to attack people. Jimmy used a term with me, the art of war. You be nice, then you pick it up a level, and then you really attack. You do whatever you have to do to win. That is how they do it. And we're going to get deeply into that. And a lot of the information that I have, I'm putting together. And the reason I haven't released it is because I have to decide what I'm going to do with a portion of that evidence. This Friday, I'm going to go on Kane Shade's show because you know what? Kane Shade used to be here. And, I bust his chops. And when I went under like this, he was a little bit upset at me. But I'm going to go on his show on Friday night. His show's growing. So, go over there, subscribe. Good guy. And so right now, what I'm going to also say is that I'm going to talk about John Alite's vacations. He goes on a lot of them. Up here. The first time I talked to John Alite, He told me he was in Hawaii. And he goes, I'm sitting on the tarmac. I'm like, okay. He goes, I'm with a film crew on the tarmac. We're filming something for TV. I'm like, okay. I didn't think nothing about it. And then he tells me that he's in Hawaii, but the problem was that night, his show came on in New York, and he was in the studio with Felix. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, you just told me you were in Hawaii. What the hell are you doing in New York now? So 2 days later, I call him. Well, he calls me, and I say, where you are? Well, where are you? He tells me he's in Florida. I'm like, okay, but you just told me you were in Hawaii coming back to New York. Still didn't make sense. Now he's saying he's leaving tomorrow to go to Europe. I mean, this is the mind of John Alite. He goes on fantasy vacations. He wants everybody to know about his vacations. He's an egotistical guy. If he was on these vacations, he'd be putting pictures everywhere. So, John, if I'm not right, just put up some pictures from your vacation from Hawaii and your little thing down in Florida. When you go to Europe, please let us see some more pictures. Why do you have to lie about vacations, dude? I mean, if you're lying about vacations, that means you're lying about everything. I'm going to take, we'll go through some of the stuff here. Let's see. John took the space shuttle back. That's a possibility. He would have got back just in time. Charlie G. Cromel's a troll and is like Carlos. I know Cromel. Cromel I've known for a long time from a different time, not here, Alex. So I'm a little bit confused there. Lico, you're in your 60s. No, I'm not in my 60s. And you're playing both sides of the games. Don't you have anything better to do, or you just love this drama? I don't have anything better to do. So I'm doing this. Right, Regina? It's good to see you, by the way, Regina. So, Regina, if you need to write another insulting comment, go ahead. I promise you I'll put it up there just because I like you. John Alite, the world travel. Yes, Lentil, that's it. He goes everywhere. I mean, it's just amazing. And then I was, and I was just reading a story too, where about 4 or 5 years ago, a church burnt down. And people thought that he burnt it down. And I was checking out, I'm doing some more research on that because I find it an interesting story because they said he burnt it down. And John Alite said he didn't burn it down, but then there was a newspaper out of the country where the religion's based out of that said, yes, he did burn it down. Whoops. Sorry about that. That was funny. Concorde's been grounded long ago, and what I understand, Concorde flights were transatlantic. Yeah, until that one Concorde caught on fire. That was pretty sad, actually. Lico, also Lee, not that I like a lot, but you don't you think he pre-record shows? I'm sure Felix posts them anyways. No, actually, he was doing a show today, and it was live, and that show was live also. But it's a good question, Regina. You're just trying to make everything I say wrong, Regina, because you dislike me. But that's okay. I'll still put your... so Regina, have you subscribed to my show? Okay. Leave it out, Lee. Alite and Felix don't do live. You need to see a specialist, Lee. You were anti-Alite, then you were pro-Alite. Now you're lost everybody on your channel. Now you are trying to get back in with it. Okay, Scott, let me explain this to you, Scott. I have 200 more subs now than I did a week ago. And I'm not talking about the troll subs that disappeared. So my show actually has grown by 200. So I hate to disappoint you, Scott. That's the fact. You should be thanking MRE. He's keeping you relevant. No, he's not. He's not keeping me relevant. I'm the only one that sticks up to that. He's a phony. I'm the only one that sticks up to him. He's easy to see through of what type of human being he is. Have you gotten any backlash since last night from A-Land's camp? No, but I see it coming. One person from that camp called me up and they told me that they were taking down the page that was attacking Angel Gotti, and they were going to keep it down. So we'll see if they're going to do that. That's the biggest. If I accomplish nothing out of this, the fact of the matter that they took that down means a lot. Lee calls it because they don't like that Carlos Munoz is here. Okay. Hey, listen, Carlos has the right. Carlos flipped on me when he disagreed with me. I respect that. That's what it comes down to. At least he was honest with me and he flipped and he just left, and that was that. You know, Carlos is like cane shade. He does not believe in riding with daylights. And he left. So I'm glad Carlos came back, you know, to be honest with you. And I hope you're a sub, Carlos. I'm up from Spanish Harlem by FDR Drive. I know that. Okay. Welcome from Spanish Harlem. The pretty queen. Hello to you. Okay. Don't need to worry about subs. Just keep doing content. Put Switch and from Alite and everything else. Tell us more about yourself. Yes, actually, I got a series going on right now. It's going to be on Vince McMahon, the real Teflon Don. As we know, Vince McMahon's been running the WWF since he took over from the mid '80s from his father. He's covered up murders. He's had people die violently in his rings. His wrestlers, one every couple of months, dies in a motel room somewhere of an overdose. He's covered up a child sex scandal. He's covered up a steroid. He used to actually mail steroids through his company to all his wrestlers. Vince McMahon is the real Teflon Don because he's in his mid-70s. He's never done any time for everything that company's done wrong. If that was any other company in America, it'd be out of business, especially the fact with the ring boy sex scandal. And that's what we're going to do a 3-part special on. I'm working on that right now, and I'm really looking forward to doing it. Let's see what that sweetheart Regina has to say. Lee, flip-flop, or flop-flip. I'm sorry. Let's move on to question. I asked Lee. Okay, bald pussy. Okay. Wow. You guys are brutal, man. You attack him, you attack me. I'm telling you, you don't mess with this. You guys in these chats. Says the old guy who cried wolf. Hey, listen, Mark, as long as I put your shit up there, I let you insult the hell out of me if it makes you feel good, because I'm sure that you probably have a miserable life and you need to insult somebody. So that's okay. I'll be that guy. You should not be. I did not see you on no block list, Carly. I checked it before I started this show today. So I'm hoping you're not on no block list because I did not block you. Because of what one person said, yeah, I'm hoping that's not true. Yeah, Vince sued Martha Hart, you know, and well, Martha Hart won a lot of money. You got to remember, her husband fell into a ring and died. And when they put the clip on his back, it was a clip that was meant for half his weight. So they messed up right off the bat. So when Owen Hart came down to come into the ring, he fell into the ring and died. I mean, it was a horrible death. And he literally died in the ring after he fell. I'm sure a lot of people here remember that. But she won a lot of money in court over that death. And that's one of the things I'm talking about with Vince McMahon. You know, he got away with that. I mean, he paid a couple $1 million and that's that. That man did not even want to do that stunt coming down from the ceiling, and it cost him his life. In the words of Maggie, the nails that sticks out gets hammered. John Gotti is the Teflon Don. Thank you for that. That's a good one. I like that one. John Gotti is the Teflon Don. Use a different name. John Gotti was the Teflon Don, but he still went to jail, and he spent the rest of his life in jail, which is a horrible thing. Vince McMahon, now, it's not an insult to John Gotti. John Gotti was the Teflon Don. There's no doubt. But when I use Teflon Don, basically I'm talking about someone that's in a lot of power. Vince McMahon's in a lot of power. He's a multi-billionaire. And he's been in court. He's beaten all these charges. And he's still a free man. It has nothing to do with insult to John Gotti. We all know who John Gotti is. John Gotti's a legend. It's that simple. Lee, I was thinking about his name for a show, The Most Hated Show, featuring Lee Cole. What do you think of the title name? Okay, that's a good one. Okay. Lee, back top has done more damage to the Alites than any of the one of these stations. You could make a small mammal with the hair on that blanket he's sporting. Wow. Come on, guys. You guys are brutal. Carmine, Lee, back. Okay, we just read that, Carmine. Lee, did you lure Johnny and Jimmy into the kidnap mobile and slam on the gas? Laugh out loud? Okay. Well, what are you referring to, Jason? Get to the point. Are you referring to something that happened in my life? Lee, are you going to explain what the hell you are doing or trying to accomplish with this double agent stuff? Are you going to explain what is going on with you and Casparosa? Yes, all in good time. You will understand when that happens. And you're part of it. Everybody here is going to be part of it, and they're going to understand. Kasparosa has been working very hard on this. To be honest, Kasparosa and Jeff Canarsie, they've been part of this for a lot longer than I've been. And they've done a lot more for this than I have. So hats off to those two. Mob Talk Radio, salute Jeff, yes. Boy, I tell you what, did you see Jeff's show the other day when he went off on Gene? Wow. That was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. I mean, I can't describe it any other way. So if you guys want to talk about that show, just bring it up. It was brutal. And if you haven't heard it, go listen to it. Gene, if you're listening to me, I'm sorry I'm sending people there. But man, I listened to that twice and I'm like, holy shit. I can't believe that guy said all that stuff about you. Neho Attila equals okay. Yes, backwards. Because Sammy fixed his trials, all of them, so not really Teflon, just paid off. I believe that was one trial, one jury. I'm not sure, though. Oh, I like this. Happy Meal Coal 3. Nice shirt, Lee. They have nice, big and tall secondhand store in your town. You're not going to believe this, Happy Meal. But I don't really care what you think. Here's what it comes down to. If I really cared what you think, do you think I would wear my shirt? Think about that. That's the only thing you have in your little pathetic life is that statement. You are so worried about my t-shirt. Now, if you're going to insult me, can you come up with something better, more intelligent? I don't think you can. Happy Meal Coal? I mean, what did that take you, like 3 days to come up with? Can you imagine what this dude Happy Meal Coal looks like in real life? I mean, out of this room? I get in here every day, I show my face. And all the wise asses that come in here and insult me and stuff, they don't, because they're losers. You should still use a different name. You know what? You're right. Yeah, you're probably right. I use that name. They found out everything about me. So they know everything about me now. So it doesn't matter. There's nothing else you can get on me. You know, Mickey Ritz, how you doing? And you know what? Mickey Ritz totally disagree with me. We had our differences, but we came to a happy medium. And I'm glad we did. As a matter of fact, Mickey said when he comes down to Texas, he's going to take me out to eat. So I'm going to hold him up to that. And it's going to be steak too, dude, and a good one. Lee Cole, I'll keep asking you the same question. Did you and FBS plan that fight with Jeff? Absolutely not. No, we did not. He's not that type of guy. He's really not. Me, yes, I'm that type of guy. FBS is not that type of guy. You know what he did? He sat back and he said it was entertainment. And it is entertainment. When we do these shows here, we decide what we're going to put our show under. And there's these little, you check the spot you want your show to be considered. This genre is considered entertainment. Would you rather have us be boring? That's what it comes down to. I mean, look at the name you put up. So that's entertainment, dude. That's what this is. This is all entertainment. That's what we're doing. We're here to entertain you. And if you don't like us, you're not going to stay. It's that simple. Okay, here's my favorite lady, Regina. Lee Cole, so you accomplished to get an Instagram page taken down. Do you think they took it down because you got close to them? Do you think that they can just put up another one? Are you a CIA agent? Why they won't put it up? Because of what I have on them. That's why they won't put it up, Regina. I hope that explains it a little bit to you, Regina. K-Mac, Lee, you soiled yourself with happiness breaking Jeff's balls yesterday. It was kind of fun, but Jeff took as good as he got. Let's give him his due, and Jeff wasn't totally walked over. Lee Cole, please stop reading these trolls' comments. They are psychic energy vampires who seek to suck your life force and life force of chat. Yeah, you know what? It's entertainment. Let them say their little things. It makes them feel good. You're making them feel noticed because they have nothing going on in their life. So you're giving them a little love. That's entertainment. To watch FBS show begging to Jeff a groveling apology. You're right about that. But you know what? He's his own man, and he decided to do it that way. Everybody's different. So I will never knock him for making that decision. He felt right about making that decision, and that's why he apologized. So, I don't know what else to say. What do you have on them, Lee? Jen, that stuff will all be coming out soon. We're going to give it out in bits and pieces, and then you're going to get a lot of it when you least expect it. Everything's in the works. FBS loved it, Lee. He has the feels for you still. He has feels. Hey, listen, I talk to FBS all the time. What we do in here isn't how we feel about each other out of here. He'll come after me. I'll go after him and stuff. But, we try not to attack each other too much. And that's that. It's not fun. I don't care about anybody attacking me. Him attacking me bothers me. I don't care if Jeff attacks me or that idiot MRE. I don't care if they attack me or the chick from wherever. They can attack me. I enjoy that because that means I'm getting on their nerves. But I like FBS. I don't want to get on his nerves. Munoz, John. No, you walked all over Jeff Lee. It was beautiful. Well, Southie, you don't usually compliment me. So if you're complimenting me, I appreciate that. But FBS wouldn't do that. Did you get MTR IG station taken down? No, I don't even know what you're talking about. Instagram. Oh, MTR. What is MTR? The Instagrams that were up, that shouldn't have been up, are down. Now, MTR doesn't sound familiar. I don't want to name that because it's so disgusting, the name that they had. They're watching the chat to pin cases on people. These people are agents. That's one thing you got to remember about these rats. If you even go up to them and hit them, they could literally walk into a bar and start a fight, and the people that beat them up would be arrested because these rats are government property. They're owned by the government for the rest of their life. So basically, one of the agreements these rats have when they get charged, and then they turn themselves over to the government, any crime that they witness for the rest of their life, they have to talk about. That would mean Sammy Gavano is still a rat. That would mean Jimmy Calandra is still a rat. They're owned. That's just how it is. And when they make those deals and put those documents in front of you, it says it. We own you. You are our bitch now. You work for the United States government. That's what it comes down to. So these guys signed their life away when they agreed to become rats. And just think about how many rats are out here. They're everywhere. There was a time up until the 80s and early 90s that if you were a rat, like look what happened to Willie Boy Johnson. They found out he was a rat, and what did they do to him? I mean, it's just like that, but now everybody's in jail now. Are there rats? There's no in between. So that's why, there's very little of the mafia left now. You have cameras in the streets. You can't commit crimes no more. You can't beat nobody up in the street because there's cameras anywhere. Heck, when you go out and shoot a deer in the middle of the woods, there's cameras hanging on the trees. And with this new surveillance and stuff they have, organized crime is not out in the road street anymore. Now it's on the internet. The Russians and all that. Carlos, it's like that for them for real. Yep. And you know that, Carlos. How's the word? Okay, let's see. Lee, you have spit on your lower lip. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you letting me know that. Mob Talk Radio said that you had his IG page taken down. I don't know what you're talking about there. But the bad IG pages are down. And I have no issues with Mob Talk Radio. I don't want him doing that scathing review on me that he did on Brillo. Big Brother is watching. Oh, they are. They are, dude. You know that the government is watching us when we talk about these rats. You know that, right? They're watching every one of us in here. I mean, even if you have these names, they know who everybody is in here. Or they got your IP addresses and all that stuff. So you might as well not hide because the government's watching you. If you say something negative about one of their rats, they're watching you. But that's what these guys are. They're all rats for life. And people come on here and watch him and say, oh, he's likable. I like him. But they don't realize that if you did a crime in front of him, he's going to rat you out. You know why? Because when they rat and the government owns them, if they see a crime and don't report it, and the government finds out about it, they lose everything and go back to jail. Hi, everyone. Too late to show. Hope you all having a great day. Dan, we are. Thank you. Carlos Alex Trio, my number one fanboy. Okay. Yeah, you and I, Alex, really go at it sometimes. Oh, you are, oh, that's true. You all are. That's true. Yeah. Carl, stay true to who? Lee, you should go do a show on Nadu's horrible hairpiece. Hey, he pulled it the other day. Did you see that? I call that Donald Trump. Remember when Donald Trump did that? You got to put that really good glue there to make sure you can't pull it off. Yeah, and you know, Texas, when I did that, ask them those questions, people say, why didn't I go at him hard? Because I wanted him to stay on the show for at least an hour and put answers out there. And if his answers are wrong, you can watch his answers. You can compare them to answers from old interviews, and I will challenge anybody to find a show that he was on that asked him that many questions. Usually they don't ask him one question. They stand there praising him and telling him how great he is. Rat, okay. Turn to right. Pranksters. Carmen Cucci, that's not all true. That's not true at all. Carmen, what's not true at all? The rat thing? I hate to break it to you, they are. Once a rat, you're owned by the government, Carmen. Straight up massive rat. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Well, you know, they can. People are always watching you. Look at every piece of electronic equipment you have in your house. Your TVs can see you. Anything that's a smart capability can see you. You can't get away. I mean, we're totally watched. Now they want to take cars and they want you to go to in this new bill that just came out of Congress, this $1 trillion piece of garbage. Part of that bill says that any cars that come out in the future are all to have GPSs in them, where they can actually tell you how many miles you drive a year. They'll know everything about you, what you do. The United States government will have all this equipment in your car. So all these old cars that when they disappear, hey, if you drive an old car right now, my advice to you would be make sure you keep that sucker good, because once you get one of these new cars, they're going to be spying on you no matter where you go. The future is so fucked. These people, these young people going into the future, they are so fucked. Alite was one of 2 ex-military guys. He said he choked out a terrorist and got out of jail on 9/11. Okay. I never heard that story, but nothing will surprise me. No, you ain't Sammy had to testify for 2 years that he was free. Scott McDonald. How do you know that, Scott? How do you know that? Because Sammy says so? Is Sammy honest or something? Is he like the type of guy that you believe? Do you know that when Sammy was down doing that drug ring with his children and his family in Arizona in 2001, and he got arrested, do you know that the Arizona State Police, when they were investigating him, when the Arizona State Police were investigating Sammy, they hid it from the FBI. Because they knew if the FBI knew that they were about to arrest Sammy Gravano, they would come down and save Sammy Gravano, because Sammy Gravano embarrassed them. They didn't want anybody to know what Sammy Gravano was doing. So the Arizona State Police had to keep it a secret when they arrested Sammy Gravano. And then, you know, people say, oh, Sammy was helping his kids. No, Sammy was the ringleader. And in all government documents, it says that. He was the ringleader of the group. Sammy Gravano does not work for anybody. He's just got that type of mentality. He's a leader. He's not a follower. That's just who Sammy is. Lee, all you did was read our questions for him, and no matter what you answer was given, there was zero follow-up, zero challenge to any response. he gave. So what did you do that was so special? Well, according to you, I did nothing that was so special, shredded cartel. But you know, that's the great thing, shredded cartel. Everybody has their opinions. I had 100 people tell me, hundreds of people telling me that they thought it was a great interview. Then I have hundreds of people telling me that it sucked. I'm not going to win one way or another. Lee, why do you know? Why don't you know anything about mafia history? You always get your facts wrong. Tell me what I got wrong. Of course, I get a lot. I'm not a mob historian. I'm an entertainer. You know, if you want a mob historian, go to Jeff Canarsie. He's a mob historian. That's what it comes down to. And I'll be the first person to admit everything I learn about the mob. I know basics about the mob. But if you're saying I don't know about Sammy Gavano, yeah, Sammy Gavano's a piece of shit. I know about Sammy Gavano. And people get mad when I say that. But he is the worst type of human being that exists on this earth. People don't want to hear that. If you take your children into a drug ring with you and you start dealing drugs with your son, your daughter, and your wife, you are a piece of shit. That doesn't deserve any popularity. Nobody should even respect Sammy Gavano. Would any of you people here that have families deal drugs with your family? Would you take your son, would you take your daughter and start dealing drugs? Ask yourself that. And if you are, then you're no better than Sammy Gavano. Hey, Gene, did ass really get tapped with? You know something? Sean, you're just going to have to see, when you see Gene, you're going to have to ask him. Nobody ever said Sammy was a saint. Sammy's not even, the word saint and Sammy doesn't belong in the same sentence. Sammy should not even be walking in the streets. Sammy deserves a death worse than John Gotti's. John Gotti died laying on a bed, tied to the bed. Well, they had light ropes on him or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, Sammy did it because he ratted. And Sammy was much more violent than John Gotti. Gene, get help. That's not the whole story. Then give us the rest of the story. You know what you got to do, Grind Jr.? You got to start your own show and tell us the story. Lee Cole, didn't you say yesterday that you wouldn't want to beef with MRI because he'd smoke your... yeah, you know what? You're right. I don't want to battle MRE, but what am I supposed to do? Let him attack me and ignore the little fucker? That's not happening. That's not happening. So he could do whatever he wants. He can attack me. I'm a big boy. He'll call me like, I'm a 74-year-old man. I hear all the remarks. But the difference between me and him is you can't see his face because he's a coward. I'm not a coward. That's the difference between me and him. Gene, you weren't even a has-been or you never was. Well, a lot of people say that. Mob Talk Radio, how are you? People think it's so easy doing these shows. What the fuck? Aren't they doing them? Exactly. If you think this is an easy thing to do, go do it. Do you think it's easy to sit here? And Mob Talks Radio's here. He'll tell you the same thing. Do you think it's easy to sit here and just do this? And Mob Talk Radio actually has a great voice for it. I don't. You know, and you guys aren't going to stay here if you don't find me a little bit entertaining. Do you ever accept what attacks come your way as your own friggin' fault? You want a box, don't cry when you get hit. I don't know what to tell you, dude. Do I sound like I'm afraid of that? I mean, you're on here. I put you up here because you're negative. Do you have anything positive to say, or is your life so fucked up you can't? Miss can't be wrong. Absolutely. Okay. I don't know what you were talking there, Carlos. Washed up Gene. Watch your tongue. Who's got to watch their tongue? This is YouTube. I don't have to watch my tongue. I hope that FBS True Colors yesterday. I hope you seen he sat back and smirked along with Smug while Nadu was doing his dirty work. Nadu didn't do his dirty work against me. I don't think he ever touched me, to be honest. JC, how you doing? JC and I had a nice conversation before. He calls me up and he says to me, "Whose phone number is this?" Right, JC? Okay. Just so everybody knows, I'm smoking pot right now. You're such a stoner, dude. I hope you don't go gamble while you're high. I had to hand it to Lee. He was taking a beating. And I'm going to continue taking a beating because you know why? A lot these people that attack people, these trolls, they got no life. This is it. That's all they got is to attack people. It's like MRE. He says that he's about going after the rats. But you notice that he has spent as much time attacking me in the last 3 weeks as anybody else. So is he really about the rats? There's no ratting in my whole life. Lee, you're still doing your thing. Yes. And right now there's 212 people here. So someone's listening. And we have good numbers here all the time. And we're supposed to be a dying show. See, that's what they hope. They want this show to go away. But it's not gonna. Oh, I like this one. Lee, you're a weirdo with weirdo interactions. No disrespect. Dude, you are probably right. Okay? I don't mind being called a weirdo. Isn't everybody weird in their own little way? Are you more scared of a person that isn't weird in their own little way? Whether it's easy or not, it's self-inflicted wound. Okay, let's see. We got the questions are just flowing in right now, people. I appreciate it. Gene scared of trites. Be man, don't let Sonny Money down. He looks up to you, bro. Yeah, Sonny Money's an hard character. He came in here yesterday and he took off the minute that he started hearing what I was saying. I tried to get him to want to come on the show if he wants, just to talk to the kid, you know. Gene has sugar in his tank for a sweet boy. But listening, people, let me ask you an honest question. Would you say this stuff to Gene's face? That's the question. And I'm not sticking up for Gene. I'm just saying, from what I understand, Gene could handle himself in the streets. He could fight. So people crack on Gene and stuff, but would they say it to his face? Just a question. I'm not defending him. I'm just asking you that question. If you would walk up to Gene in the street and you know you're going to get no fight with him, would you fight him? Okay, the life of Gene. Jeff Lohman will meet me with cops. That's the only way he would ever meet me. This is the real Gene. I didn't know you were here, Gene. Okay. I didn't say I would repeat. Carly G against Carlos. Dudes, I want to stop hearing you say that. You know, you really have to email me. I need to talk to you, please. Okay? You know what I need to talk to you about. Please, if you could do that right after you get off here today, please contact me. It would mean a lot to me. Jimmy Cheeks. Gene will definitely crack your skull from behind in a minute. I think that he would fight people from the front too. You might be right about John Alite. He's 60 years old. But from what even John Alite, you know, these guys, we might laugh at them and stuff, but we still have to remember that they were in the streets. And the guys that were in the streets, and Carlos could tell you this, you had to know how to fight, you know how to handle yourself. You know, you say what you want about them, but that's the fact of the matter. Anybody wants to write me, here's my email coming here. I got like triple protection on it. You can do whatever you want. If it looks suspicious, I don't open it. That's my email right here coming up. I'll be straight up and say, when Lee started with the Alite stuff, I rolled out. I don't agree with their camp and the snitching and the lying, but bottom line is we got those pages taken down. Mickey, you know what? That's what it comes down to. Those pages are down. And the person that put those pages up kept their word and they took them down. And let's hope they keep their word and keep them down. That would be the right thing to do. This calling people child molesters and making up these things and saying horrible things about people's dead husbands, and it's just horrible. It's shit that shouldn't be being done. It's just horrible. So let's just hope that's what happens now. I've said the same thing more than once. Gene ain't a fraud or a punk like him or not. He's going to step up in your face. I'm in New York City my whole life. Gene is no fraud. Okay. K-Mac, absolutely, bro. Hey, Carlos, would you step up to Gene in the street? I think Carlos would. Mickey, I agree. Thank you, Mickey. The Life is taken down Instagram page. They life. Rizzo just got made New York Yankee is capped over Gene. Does anybody even want to really be made into the mob nowadays? Because you know you're going to prison for life. Or you're going to become a snitch. It's like going to prison. Being a member of the mafia nowadays would be so scary. Because you know at any minute the FBI is going to come to the door and they're going to arrest you and charge you with RICO. So if somebody in your group took a shit in the middle of the street, you're going to be charged with it. That's just RICO. RICO is badass. Family, women, and children should be a no-go zone. Absolutely. Agree with you 100%. You know, I can handle the pages being put up about me, but the fact of the matter is I'm a father and I'm a grandfather. And, you know, that really, you know, you're stepping the boundaries there. Why do fools believe that Carlos Clown is some tough guy and the guy's a goose? I don't know, Matt. Carlos, if you want to answer that, you go right ahead. Lee, what's up with the Mexican Cam Che? He's not Mexican, he's Cuban. You know, people keep saying that, you know, and no, he's Cuban. He's from the Cuban area and he's Cuban. Gene isn't scared of anybody, he's government property. That's true. This is Goofy, but you're here. Think about that. So you must like Goofy. The movie Bronx Tale with New York Hour said the real tough guy is the working man. Gangsters are just low life bumps. You know, it's truth. Getting up and going to work every day. Carlos says, money, power, respect. Aren't you doing that right now? I hear you, Lee, mess with my family, and I'm a hurricane. Yep. Gene likes to break car windows at night when it's dark. Okay. I don't know about that, but maybe it's true. I'm not sure. Gene had Kool-Aid on his cheeks in Rikers. Oh. Now they're coming for you, Gene. Okay, SMH, okay. Came Shade's Unk is a good dude. He's a hell of a dude. Hell of a dude. And why more people aren't over there subscribing to his page? I mean, to his show, his channel. Really, go over there and subscribe to his channel. Get him to 1,000. He deserves it. Yeah, Carlos is here. He's a good guy. My damn phone just will not stop ringing. Hold on one second. Hello? Okay, can you call me back? Call me back in 10 minutes. Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry. That's a nurse practitioner. Okay. Carlos, you are a chat groupie. Carlos, that is true. You are kind of a chat groupie because you go to all the chats, but you are there. You're loyal, dude. Gene wasn't even made. He rattled on to his 30th birthday. But you got to listen to the story why he wasn't made either, Patty. It's kind of an interesting story. I don't know if it's true, but it is an interesting story. Gene, get that antenna out of your mouth. Lee Lilo has better stuff than Gunner. Gunner is my third most popular video I've ever made. So I think he's at 15,000 views. Jimmy is number one. John Alite's probably going to be number two. And then Gunner's right there. And a videotape on a show I did on Sammy. Sammy Gavano, people he sells. People, when you do a show on Sammy, you get views. It's just that simple. Same with Jimmy Calandra. Johnny Alite, whether you like him or not, he sells. Damn telemarketers. Dude, you're probably too stoned to even know what a telemarketer is, JC. People sitting around with grease-stained T-shirts, never done telling people how to shake my fucking head. So who has a grease-stained T-shirt? Much respect, Mr. Carlos. Hey, Lee, how are you? Richard, I'm doing good, thank you. Did Gunner deal with informants no, Gunner was not. There's no evidence that Gunner ever informed on anybody, ever ratted on anybody. Somebody checked his jacket real thoroughly. There was never no evidence that Gunner ever snitched on nobody. That's all false bullshit. You got to give a man his due when he deserves his due. There's no evidence that Gunner ever. The man did 13 years in prison. People can knock Gunner, but let me ask you a question. Could any of you guys here do 13 years in prison? The fact of the matter is he did 13 years. And he did it in heavy security prisons. He didn't do it in like medium securities or lower securities. So the guy had to look over his shoulder all the time, and he survived 13 years of prison. So he deserves his respect. That's just what, people that talk that shit about Gunner and stuff, would you say it to his face? I'm just asking. Just by looking at Gunner, you could tell that he would knock a person out, 99% of the people that come in his face. And I don't like him. I think he talks too much. And, when he was on our show, we just couldn't get him to shut up. It was one of the worst interviews. But a lot of people watched the videos. And, people could say what they want about Gunner, but he's not a punk. And he did 13 years, and he did not snitch. JC, aren't you too old to be a pothead? Hey, some of the best potheads I ever knew are old. Gunner loves to hear himself talk. A lot of people. I like to hear myself talk. A lot of people like to hear himself talk. Any fan of Calandra is a rat. Well, you guys know how Jimmy and I get along. Jimmy wants me to die. He said that on his show. He said, God's coming for you. And when God shoots down on you, I can't wait. I don't know if you guys seen that video when he said that about me, but he did say that. He called me a fat fuck, and he wanted God to strike me down. That was what Jimmy said about me. And people think that he's cured, that he's better, that he's normal. Pretty Montana, how are you doing? Okay. Gunner talks like he's overeager, but he's okay. He is okay. You know, he walked away from the bullshit. You know, so his if you look at his show, his views went way down because, and he knew it was going to go down because he just did it. He wanted to get away from the mafia stuff. He told me this. He wrote me a letter, an email, and when Gunner writes you an email, it's like a book. He doesn't write a little email. Gunner writes an email that's like 3 pages long. Most people can't do 13 years. It's not a choice. You survive because you have no other option. But the problem, Southie, is that it's not if you survive, it's how you survive when you're in jail, in prison. Are you going to be someone's bitch in prison? I mean, how does a man survive in prison? No man knows how he's going to survive in prison. You know, if you've seen the movie, and I hate to compare movies to real life, but if you've seen the movie with Ed Norton, I can't think of the movie now. But anyway, he goes to prison and he's a tough guy. And to prove a point to him, they rape him, even though he's a badass. I mean, when you go to prison, it doesn't matter how tough you are. You have to get along with people and you have to be accepted. It's obvious that Gunner was accepted in prison. Even Jimmy. Jimmy did some time, but he was accepted. He was accepted by the gangsters. And you don't know how he survived. His jacket is coming to public soon. I've seen people that seen his jacket. If you find something in that jacket that nobody else knows, you let me know about that, okay? Gunnar has a split personality on cocaine. You just may. Johnny Truelove, I don't get the point. I'm in a company for 12 years in a state prison, but I don't get it. I don't. So if you're in a CO in a prison, you know the deal, don't you? I know that you can't stand me, but at least tell us, you know the deal, right? There's guys that make it and there's people that don't make it. And more don't make it to make it. Mind your business, show respect, you'll survive. Yep. Lee, you are going to have Angel Gotti on your channel again? I hope so. And she's been through a lot. So that lady's been through a lot for several years now. This guy, Carlos Mata, is a big Calandra fan. This is a guy who supposedly did hard time. SBS gave him a wrench, and when you talk about Calandra, he blocks you. Hey, he could be a Calandra fan, but if you don't, but Carlos, reality is you said you don't like rats, and Jimmy is a rat. That's the reality of it. You put Sparrow in prison, and Sparrow died in prison. What are traits? Okay, I'm glad to hear that, love. Okay. That would be fun, Gianni Russo. You always hear that name. That guy, you know. JC Gunner did a great show on the Chaldon Mob. You should check it out. Lee, you almost broke up Unemployment Sicilian and Little Jeff show. Unemployment Sicilian doing the walk of shame today. Hilarious. Keep up the good work. Well, you know something, Michael, you usually attack me, dude. And now because of this, you come on and be nice to me? I'm sorry. Okay. Shredded Cartel, I know that there are more rats in prison than I've ever seen. High-ranking gang members ratted for TV, honey buns, and some soaps. Yeah. Hey, listen, when you're in prison, there's 2 things that can make you snitch. Honey buns and Jolly Ranchers. Jolly Ranchers will make you snitch out your cellmate. I mean, if you're in prison and you got nothing to eat, and then all of a sudden someone comes up to you and says, look, we need to know where this guy's hiding his shit. I'll give you 2 bags of Jolly Ranchers. That's like pretty tempting, don't you think? I don't like rats, but something about Jimmy, I kind of like him. Did you like him when he was telling me? Did you like him when he was saying that he wanted God to strike me dead, Brooklyn? Did you like that? I know. I'm hoping you guys seen that show. I watched it. I was laughing so fucking hard because he was turning red and he was like, I hope God comes down and strikes you deadly. People also need to know and understand the fact that anybody can or will be tested in prison. A lot of people have nothing to lose. You know, when I went to Rikers Island back in 1987, I went to Rikers Island. I was 27 years old at that time. And I can tell you this, I was tested the minute that I walked in with a group. Everybody in the cell was black. I was tested right away. I had a fight. I did okay. I had my shirt torn. The CIA broken up, but they never bothered me after that. But the minute I walked in, they tested me because I was white. And in prison, most white guys are bitches. It's just that simple. You know, there's nothing more pathetic than when you see white guys come into prison and they're trying to be everybody's friends. So if you don't get to the white supremacists and stuff in prison, you're done. You have no choice. You have to join a group. You know, and Rikers Island, as Carlos Munoz could probably tell you, is no joke. Rikers Island is as tough as any prison or jail there is. And same with Queen's House of Detention. Same thing. And I've been in both. And they're no pleasure, man. You get some sickos in there. Nowadays, the kids are so crazy. You don't, back when I was going to jail, people had a little more respect for each other. But now you have all these gangbangers and stuff, and they want to fight right away. And if you're a white guy and you go to jail at Rikers Island nowadays, good luck. Carlos wants to party like Diddy and Fab. Michael Hensley has always backed you, Lee. You got it twisted. No, I'm. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Mike. Thank you, K Mac. I appreciate that. It's you that doesn't back me. No, I'm just kidding. One thing I like about Lee, he doesn't make up stories about being associated with the Detroit mob. There was one mob in Detroit. I don't know much about it, so I can't talk about it. But I do know that the streets of Detroit are tough. So if people think they can just go to Detroit and survive in the streets, I think they don't know the streets of Detroit. I mean, you got to remember, how many years was Detroit the murder capital of the world? I mean, of the country. I mean, for years, Detroit had more murders. It was two places, Gary, Indiana, and Detroit, Michigan. For years, they were, I don't know about now, the murder capitals of the United States. Is it true that, and that's hypocritical of him? You want to party like, okay, dude, you just said that. Don't stress how many is mistaken for someone else. Okay. I like this Happy Meal guy. Now, everyone associated with FBS show is unemployed. Last night was the nail in the coffin. No, it wasn't. Come on. They've been saying that about me too, Happy Meal. Every time I say something, I make a mistake. It's the nail in my coffin. He has more viewers than me. His show's doing better than my show. He's just going to be fine. Back in the 90s, a long time ago. Well, I was back in the 80s, you know. I went to jail a few times in the 80s, and I went to jail in the 90s. I went to jail in the 2010s. No one wants you in here, FBS. Sammy, leave FBS alone. ESP, because you're not the real Sammy. Well, JC threatened to dox me and send BLM to my house. So I don't care for JC and his lies. Is that true that you pulled out the BLM card on him? I'm going to do a few more of these. We'll give it I'll probably go 10 more minutes. The street they called Lee Big Poppy. That's funny you said that. Johnny Rocco, do you know me from somewhere? People, last warning, stop the Carlos bashing. Carlos, stop reacting. Okay. Okay, Krumel, that's the man right there. That's the man with the wrench. Krumel will hit you over the head with the wrench. Love BML out to this. Okay. Dude's a chat room simp. FBS wants to know if you blocked him. No, I didn't block him. Why would I block him? Happy Meal, you're not too bright, are you? Laugh out loud. My channel didn't even take a hit. Laugh out loud. But as you know, Fat Ball Sicilian, that was the rumor about my channel too, and I picked up 200 people since the John A. life. I'm up to 1,800 now. That's it. That's it. They like to make rumors up. People just like to say, "Oh, they took a hit. They took a hit." No, some people get mad with what Fat Ball Sicilian does, and a lot of people get mad what I'm doing. If I could survive, I sure the hell know Fat Ball Sicilian will, because he's more liked than I am. Krummel, good job. Krummel, we bash Jeff the Wig still. Oh, you know what? That's Jeff. He's bashable. He's just got that bashable look. But he'll fight back. Jeff's like that little guy, if you're in prison and you got him in the cell and you throw him in the corner, he's going to say mean things and try to fight back. FBS, did the man thing get admitted it was wrong that it's a true gentleman right there? Yep. Lee, do you think Carol Gavano is cute? Compared to what? Carol Gavano looks like me with a wig. That's how attractive she is. You set up Jeff Punk. Okay. Okay, Jesse Burke. FBS apology tour. Ball Sicilian, you're on the apology tour now. You know that, right? According to Happy Meal. But Happy Meal's been abusing the shit out of me. Now he's going for you, FBS. So if you hang in here a little bit, at least I can get Happy Meal off my ass. Okay. What's wrong with being gay, JC? I don't give a shit who's gay. JC, do you have a problem with the gay? You're out in California, JC. I mean, what can you have? You're out in California, dude. I think half the gays in the United States live out in California. What's good, Jimmy Calandra? Okay. FBS and his friends Jim the Clam in the chat. Who's Jim the Clam? Okay. FBS and his friend. Okay, we just read that. Ramon Rizzo was the hottest mob wife. Didn't you think it was Big Ange? I mean, seriously, 914. Wouldn't you love Big Ange to just grab you and throw you down in the bed and look right at you and say, "You're mine"? Chilling, bro. Love Cali. You know something? I love San Diego, Oceanside area. Carlsbad. But after that, you can have California. I mean, you want to pay that $6 a gallon for gas and what, $12 for a pack of cigarettes? I don't smoke, but it's okay. Common sense. FBS, did you get my message? Jimmy's here. Lee, you could scare a cat off the fish wagon. Hey, what can I say, Jimmy? God's going to strike me down, Jimmy. At least that's what you said. God's coming to strike me down, Jimmy. Okay. Is the real sit? No, that, you know what? If we had Fat Ball Sicilian and if we had Jimmy Calandra and Sammy Gavano here, that would be fucking riot, wouldn't it? And they say my show's dead. Okay. They all in it. Yep. I have a family in North Cal. Beautiful. Yeah, North Cal is beautiful. Let me rephrase that. Lee, I'm a fan of Tennessee. Tennessee, okay. I didn't realize that. Okay, let's see. Hottest broad ever in Mob's Wives was that Jade chick. She was smoking show. I think it was Big Ange. Stop with that. None of them were even close to Big Ange. Give Big Ange her respect. I think Jimmy Clandra dated Big Ange back in the day. Lee, you should have Carlos Munoz on your channel. Your subs would go up quickly. Okay. Did you hang out in the front of Nick's candy store, Lee? No, I did not. You had Gene in here challenging Jeff to a fight. Really? Jeff, I don't think you should fight Gene. If you do, let us know. We're going to get like some kind of pool going and bet on that. Okay, Texas, Fat Balls saying Texas Ranger, you're a snowflake. I was going to end this show early, but it's too interesting now. Look who's here. We got the big boys in here now. Michigan, go blue. Oh, Gene's here. What the fuck? Gene, Jimmy Calandra. Oh. Jeff Lohman, do you accept the fight in the cage, you monster? Okay. He's challenging now, Jeff. I mean, is Jeff in here too? Okay, JC is harassing a woman in Tennessee. JC, is that true? They had me kidnapping a woman, so they might as well have you harassing a woman. The girl who danced in front of Tony and Artie was the hottest on The Sopranos. You know who I always thought was really gorgeous on The Sopranos? The one that worked in the guy that owned the restaurant, his wife. She's like 60 years old now, and she's still beautiful. Yes, Gene said he would fight Jeff. Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about Jeff Canarsie. I thought you meant Jeff Nadeau. I thought that he was going to fight Jeff Nadeau. So can you imagine that? Gene against Jeff Nadeau? FBS tried to give up my email to HMU, but it kept disappearing. I put in a comment in one of the videos the other day. I don't know, reach you, otherwise shake my head. Oh, did you catch that, my man? Okay, we can only hope this is the real Sammy Gravano. Let's see. Lee, I made you. Now you're a made man. Jimmy, there's no doubt you helped me, but you let Sammy come between us. That's it. Nothing but respect for you, but you let Sammy come between us. Jimmy accepted John, only wants to be knocked out by Junior Gotti. If John Gotti fought John Alite, who do you think would win? If you had to think about it honestly. Because it's obvious John Alite can actually throw his hands. He could hit a bag. There's no doubt about that. Jimmy Calandra's been dying to get at John Alite. So it's like, and who do you think would win the fight between Jimmy Calandra and Johnny Alite? Mob Talk Radio versus Jimmy the Clam. Okay. Johnny Boy, yes, probably 9 or 10. Can Jimmy get up there so you guys can talk about it? I'm here for convo and seeing you guys work it out. Jimmy does not want to come in here with me. Come on, are you kidding me? There's no way he would accept that. I would love for Jimmy to come in here and yell at me and tell me, God's going to strike you down. Tell us about Allison Kaiserly. No, I'm not going to do that right now. Jimmy's in here. I'm not going to talk about his boy. No way. Do you know I look out my window because when Jimmy doesn't do a video, for 2, 3 days, I get nervous. I start looking outside, and I'm in Texas. I'm outside looking around, and I tell my buddies around here, hey, if you see this guy, when he has this deep New York accent, let me know. Jimmy would ragdoll him with BJJ. Yeah, well, you know what? I think on the ground, there's no doubt Jimmy would beat him. Standing up and boxing, I'm not sure. Same thing happened to Gene. If he fights Damien, he's going to be get violated. Oh God, I don't. You know what Gene's going to do if he fights Damien? Because Damien's in his 40s. Gene will make Damien chase him for 2 rounds and then try to jump on him and choke him out from behind. That would be the only chance he would have. Can anybody see a light box? JC, we even got JC here. I mean, come on, we got a group of guys in here. Okay, JC is the poor man's version of Jimmy Calandra, granted, but he is here. Any women that feel like consensual harassments can email me. Can I email you, JC? Carmen could cut Watson A-Light and the kind of guide in the NetJet as tell people it is. Okay. Gene, I like your idea, but I doubt he wants to get hurt. Hey, Gene, did Lee back you down? Gene, they're trying to start something between you and I. Johnny Boy, also called A-Light Umbrella Boy. FBS, stay the course. It's what this dude wants. Just started watching from the beginning. Jay Light's show was pre-recorded. He was in Hawaii and went to Florida as a surprise to his friend Mike's birthday. Annette Breck, where are you from? Are you his next door neighbor? I knew sooner or later someone was going to come here and stick up for him. Lee, Jimmy is measuring the Cadillac trunk to see if a 6'4" person fits in it. But you know what? If Jimmy came to get me, though, I think he's going to torture me a little bit. He's probably going to take a wrench to my legs, like one of those big lug wrenches. He's not going to do it quick. There's no doubt. Jimmy reminds me of one of these guys. You look at him, you think he's a nice guy, but he will slowly beat me to death. JC, dude, this guy spams the Hootie chats about. Okay. Hey, listen, I appreciate everybody being here. It's kind of entertaining because we have a good group of people here. Thank you. JC, I'm saying there's someone who hates you, Hootie, said he believes it. Okay. How come Hootie's name always comes up? Was he really a guy that everybody in the streets knew? That's the question. Was Hootie a real guy of the streets? What's your opinion? Unless you guys train, you have no idea what trained level fighter can do to a normal person. That's true, especially, it used to be in the old days, you would stand up and fight with your hands. But now you can jump on a guy, take him to the ground, and you think you have him beat. And the next thing you know, he's choking you out. Look what Justin Gagey did. He jumps on top of, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. And what happened? Justin Gagey got put to sleep. So Gene is ever going to come back to YouTube. I think that he should be allowed to come back to YouTube personally, because they should allow them to have something to do. You know, guys like Gene, when you lock them up in a room and they think too much, they start doing silly things. Why do you guys all have each other's numbers? Why isn't everyone doing their own thing instead of all the high school texting and calls? I don't know, Mr. H. Do you have anybody's phone number, Mr. H? That's just the way it is. I have Nadu and I talk, Sicilian and I talk. I got Jimmy's number, but we never talk no more. Sammy held the umbrella for Gotti. JC stalks Hootie. Hey, that would be a good. I like to see JC get in the ring with Hootie. Who do you think would win that one? JC against Hootie. I think JC, Hootie might kick your ass. I just have that funny feeling, JC, that Hootie would really do damage to you. Lee, are you going to hold print? Absolutely not. No, never would do that. You can ask that question. You can believe me or not, but I would never do that. Mickey Ritz. Mickey's all happy because Jimmy's here. You know, we actually have a celebrity in here right now, Jimmy Calandra, because he's the guy with the big show. You know, us other guys, we just, as we know, that I would not even be here if it wasn't for Jimmy, according to Jimmy. Laugh My Ass, Ontario, Canada. Gene is here on YouTube. He just commented here. Fat, dude, man. I can't even say that. I'm sorry. Keep skipping my comments. Dude, I don't want to say your name. I didn't skip your comments. I just read your comment. Keep skipping my comments. They're a bunch of simps. That's why. Okay, Mickey Griggs. Why can everybody have platform except Gene Burrell? Because Gene terrorized people from the platform. Gene will even tell you that. He was a bad boy. You know, and JC, Stax and Hootie will be doing their thing. That's one thing to keep an eye on. No, JC, I want to see you and Hootie go at it. But you cannot come into the ring stoned, JC. You got to put that joint down for a day, train for a week, and then go take on Hootie. JC, you're down with this jag off? Okay, whatever that means. Okay, whoops. Okay, Shane says MRE is all about rats. He's about beef. It's to this in America. It's what's the dinner? Hey, listen. You can like MRE or not, but he spends more time on me than he does on rats. Every show he has, he's going at me. So does he really care about the rats, or is that just a big BS line? Ask yourself that. And, you know, he'll have me on tonight. He'll be knocking me, calling me the fat old man, you know, all that stuff, instead of doing what he says he wants to do, because he's full of shit. That's why. They're going to fight JC. And listen, I challenge MRE in the ring. I don't even know what you look like, dude, but I challenge you. MRE, what do you say? That's my challenge. I'm saying it here. This old 74-year-old man, I'm not 74, but that's what he says. This old 74-year-old man wants to get in the ring with MRE. So put down those cigarettes, dude. Turn off that music that you listen to from the 60s, and let's do it. And I really don't like you, so I would really love that. I can honestly say I cannot stand you. Okay, FBP, Lee Cole. One more time for the people in the back. Say my name. Say my name. Dude, I'm not saying your name. I'm sorry. It's going to remind me of one of my old girlfriends. Okay, I just didn't do a chat yesterday. We're getting down here to the end, people. Okay, let's see. Get your helmet on, Jimmy Calandra. Jimmy, you hear that? Get your helmet on? Shit. Would you say that to Jimmy's face, ma'am? Everyone rocks to Carlos to square. Mob to decomposing is a cow. What's up, Carlos? I've been to Hawaii. That ain't it. I would Fredo Como Gene to his face. You know, everybody's happy that Cuomo's out in New York. Don't get me wrong. I don't like Cuomo or his family. I think they destroyed the state of New York. But can you imagine what's going to take his place? That's scary. At least with Cuomo, you know what you're getting. Yesterday on FBS was gold. Don't believe he took it down. Yeah, that would. Yeah, I think you should put that back up, FBS. You know, everybody's been asking for it. You probably put it up. I'll bet you if you put that up, you would get a couple thousand more views real quick. Because everybody's like really upset you took it down. But he's not about the views. So JC Gene gave you the tongue lashing for his boy Hootie. Carl, stop with the 12-year-old remarks. What man uses that? Okay. Oh, Robinism is here? Okay, let's see what he has to say. Okay. Is this live? Are you live? Are rats live? Am I really alive? Hold up. Let's not start making geriatric fight clubs. None of us will have an energy left after walking into the ring. You're not joking. But you know what? For mob rats, I would give it 2 to 3 good minutes. I really would. And he's a smoker. He can barely breathe. He probably can not walk. So that would be fun. Rats of the soil, going to do time. Leave my boy Como alone. Hey, pretty Monita. Como would love to have you standing next to him. Okay, what grown man uses emoji in every sentence? Jeff Nadeau crumbled. Can't blame FBS for that. Each man, when it's one-on-one, has to handle himself. Okay, let's be honest about that. People seen me and him go at it yesterday. Who got the best of who? You know, some people said I was just being mean and nasty. And Jeff took as good as he got. So, except when he had his head down. Regina, let's see what she's going to say. How long have you been working undercover? Well, with what? Actually, about 2.5 weeks. Cuban B said, when I seen him on a boat, that's Florida water, not Hawaiian water. And you could tell the difference between Florida water and Hawaiian water. There is no water like Hawaiian water. Chef Nadeau is quitting YouTube. You abused him so badly. You're his dad. Now you slammed him so bad. Okay. You killed him, Lee. Was the funniest I've seen you. Lee killed him. God. Come on. I want to see some Jeffs in here. Okay. Majority decision. Lee took it. Lee Cole, you're going to bring the life of Gene Barillo to call. MRE has only one leg and good and not very good at ass kicking contest. JC, who's stoned right now. Lee equals Donnie Brasco of John Genera. Okay, it's storming on the East Coast. My power is out. Is it storming or did you not pay your Con Ed bill? I want Jeff Lohman. I don't care what anybody else gets me, Jeff. I will pay you $10K to get him in the ring. $10K. So let me get this. Gene Barillo is offering you $10K, dude, to get in the ring with him. How can you turn that down? 10K. So you're willing to pay Gene. So you're willing to pay 10K just to beat him up. Is that how angry you are right now? And I heard that show. I mean, that was a pretty, that was a pretty brutal show, Gene. He did a number on you. He really did. Lee, how does this help kids promoting rats? I don't know. Well, it's the truth. Kids are promoting rats all over. We're all fucked up. Our country is all fucked. We are so fucked. If you're older, you're lucky because you're not going to see what happens in this country in about 10, 15, 20 years. It's just going to come crumbling down. Lee, were you pissed FBS took the No, it's up to FBS. I think, though, he should have kept it up. This is my opinion, though. He has his own opinion. Because I think a lot of people would watch it, especially now that they know something happened. I think that if he put the video back up, it would be good for him. Because this is a business. And if it's going to sell, I'd put it up. It's monetized. Why not? Make money off of it. Gene Barillo equals Gene Barillo, Jeff Canarsie. Who thinks we'll take that? Gene Barillo, Jeff Canarsie, who comes away with the victory? You know what it is? Damien and Gene are actually friendly at times. They don't like each other one day, then they like each other. Whereas Jeff Canarsie and Gene hate each other. So would you rather see a fight where people hate each other or people where, and let's face it, Damien's a fighter. He's a professional fighter. I mean, logically, you know who's going to win that. Lee, get Gene on a call, or you are not allowed to because you switch sides again. Regina, we have a love-hate relationship. You keep it up, young lady. I hope you're a lady. I hope you're not a dude named Regina. How many people missed this event? Where's the video at? A lot of people seen it, actually, I guess. And, actually, some other people have that. If you look around on you know what? If you can't find it, contact Game Shade. Game Shade knows, actually, I think he's downloaded that. Game Shade actually has it. He's making a video about that show. So contact Game Shade if you need it, and Game Shade would get it to you. I'm sure. He likes that shit. Carlos Muniz, that's my boy from the same area, literally live next door to him. He's the real as it comes, hands like bricks. I'm not surprised. Hey, listen, before I leave, please go sub to my station. I'm sorry, my channel. If you haven't subbed, I want to get to 2,000 real ones. I don't want no John A. Light bots. I want real people. But you're going to get violated. Why embarrass yourself? Okay. Cuban B, why don't you tell MRI to show his face? K-Mac, Jimmy the Helmet would gas out in 20 seconds. What's up with that Jimmy the Helmet? Come on. Oh my God, Jeff looked like he was going to cry last night. Carlos Munoz, Regina Falagi has that fire in her. FBS has to take it down. Lee abused him, and FBS couldn't stop laughing at him. It was an instant classic. What did one person say to FBS? They said, Lee, you helped you let Lee take Jeff into the basement with a shovel and why? Lee, you're the man. Last night was gold. Thank you. I appreciate that. But let's give Jeff his credit too. Jeff hung in there for a minute. Lee only takes women's against their wills. You know what? I took that woman against her will. Okay. And then I wound up living 8 years with her. God, that's the last time I do shit like that. You kidnap them and they fall for you. Go figure that one out. Lee, you went hard on Gene last night too. No, I didn't. I don't remember going hard on Gene last night. Gene and I, disagree with the way things went. He was a man about it. He kept his end of the bargain, and that's that. That's all that matters. Lee, did Cane Shades put the wheel back on the tricycle on his tricycle? I was joking with him about that today. I asked him if he's still got if he's going to get back on the bike. And yeah, so actually, if everything goes good, we're going to start doing some stuff together again. But we'll see. Maybe he may not. His bodega might get so crowded and so busy that he wants nothing to do with me. He wants to fight both of them. Station blast from the past with his head down. Yeah, I mean, that wasn't a good look. Jeff looks like he's 60, but he's still a kid. Has a lot to learn about life. Comical. He's so smug. Carlos Munoz, most of the women that are subscribers are tougher than most of the males in the comment. Carlos, are you trying to meet somebody? What's happening, folks? Why MRE getting shredded here? No one's shredding MRE. You know? Everybody here likes MRE. They'll go on his show. I'm the only one that doesn't like MRE, and I'm straight up about it. And he doesn't like me. That's all there is to it. So fuck him. But anyway, Game Shades. Is there flu low? He was on it. Game Shades is Dave Flunky. They all was in on it. Okay, K-Mac, absolutely. Let's see. We got Carlos is a fun boy time. Cane Shade was a good assistant hype man. Cane Shade makes very good videos. He makes separate individual videos, and he does a good job. Go on MRE show and hash it out with Alex Trio. You'll get embarrassed. Okay. You know something, Cuban? It's easy to get embarrassed when somebody doesn't show their face. That's, you know, you can't argue with someone that doesn't show their face. That's what cowards do. They don't show their face. And then they battle people. They say horrible things to people. Didn't you see him last night when he was saying horrible things to people that disagreed with him and the cursing that he was using last night? I mean, do you think that was a good thing? It was totally tasteless. And he was attacking me despite the fact that I got the page taken down that was bothering Angel. He still attacked me. You know why? Because he's not who he says he is. He's not about the rats. He's about people he doesn't like. And he'll do another show on me from this show because that's who he is. He's not a rat guy. He's a phony. That's who he is. I hate MRE. Plain to ever eat another one unless absolutely necessary. What does it matter if you see someone's face or not? No one is jumping through someone's stupid screen, so faces are irrelevant. Not when you're debating somebody. If you're debating somebody and you show your face and they don't show their face, it's impossible to win that debate. Now, you guys see me debate Jeff. We could see each other. If I could see him and debate him, it would be nothing like what happens when I can't see him. That's a big advantage. That's why he's trying to throw me to, last night he was trying to get me to come on to his show and throw me the link, but I won't do it. If he shows his face, I will debate him, but he won't show his face because that's his kryptonite. Once he shows his face, he's nothing. Lee, why do you have scratches all over your face? Kidnap much? Okay. You got to get away from that, dude. I mean, that's old. Okay, Jimmy says, Lee, you and I will be doing part 2 on my platform. Whatever you want, Jimmy. If you want me to do part 2 on your platform, that's fine. You're just using me for views. I know how that goes. Jimmy definitely doesn't need me for views. Okay. MRE may not show his face, but he outwitted you countless times. Let's be honest. Yeah. If you can't see his face, he'll outwit anybody. You know? That's it. I'm not going to lie about that. It's the truth. If I don't show my face and had a debate with somebody, I'd have no issues whatsoever. But if he showed his face, he's probably like real goofy looking. You know he's a smoker because you can hear him smoking. And he listens to music from the 60s and 70s. And as old as I am, I don't listen to the music from 60s and 70s. Really corny music, though. He's a nobody, exactly. X Trio, go on his live then. Jimmy does. Anthony Sparrow haunts your dreams. Oh, wow. Okay. Lee, are you related to Mad Dog Cole? Mad Dog Cole died in a phone booth, you know? And he also killed an innocent, I believe, an innocent child. And actually, that's why he got killed. I know about Mad Dog Cole. And he was killed by a guy that owned a club. I can't think of his name. But it was in the movie, The Cotton Club. That guy that owned that Cotton Club is the guy that had Mad Dog Cole killed because he murdered the child. Are you, and you know he's a small guy. Stay out of jail, that's why they rat. What's up? Okay. Jimmy Clander is, okay, come on, stay off Jimmy, man. You know what? You guys are all talking shit about Jimmy, but Jimmy has 16,000 viewers. Going on 17. I think he has 17,000 viewers now. So somebody's listening to him. Stay Coaster News, because I've seen the biggest and baddest gangs and families. Once you have kids all outside, you can't be there to see them. It'll break any grown man. Oni Madden, thank you. He was the gentleman that owned the Cotton Club, and he was the gentleman that had Mad Dog Cole killed. Because Mad Dog Cole kidnapped his main man, too. If you've seen the movie The Cotton Club, Fred Gwynn played the guy. He used to be Herman Munster. But in the movie The Cotton Club, that Fred Gwynn was kidnapped by Mad Cole, who's played by Nicolas Cage. And some cast. It had Richard Gere, Nicolas Cage, Bob Hoskins, Fred Gwynn. So if you're looking for a good gangster movie, really, that's an underrated movie. Go watch The Cotton Club with Richard Gere. I listened to my old vinyl. Music died in the 90s. Yeah, music did die in the 90s, without a doubt. You know, people my age are lucky because we grew up with the greatest 2 decades of music, 2.5 decades of music. The late 60s, I was, you know, I didn't know music back then, but I listened to a lot of it in the 70s. And the first part of the 80s, the first 6 years of the 80s, the greatest music ever made. Lee, would you not talk about Sammy's? Who's talking about Sammy's kid? I don't know what you're talking about. Did I say something? Someone asked me how Karen looks. I said, if I put a wig on, Karen and I would look alike. That's all I said. How's that insulting her? I just made her prettier. Are you related to Nat King Cole? God bless him. Nat King Cole, Natalie Cole. That was some bloodline, wasn't it? Lee, you were quick with the comebacks. Jeff looked so defeated. Have a good night, Jimmy. I just hope Jimmy ain't here in Texas and he's just trying to throw me off because he has God coming down to kill me right now. Cuban B, you have just as many fanboys as me. We rock. MRA is very talented, very funny and talented. It gets played out. He's a bully. You could like him, but he's a bully. You know? Here's my prediction. He will come after me for this show because I stood up to him. And he will do it without the face because he's a coward. Bye-Bye Miss America. Oh, great song, Bye-Bye Miss American Pie. It's one of the longest songs, too. Isn't the regular version like 11 minutes, Kurt? I think it's like 11 minutes long. Yeah, Jeff isn't the sharpest tool in the shed. He can't handle pressure. I could tell the way Lee went at him last night. He folded like a beach chair. Now, he would disagree if he was here. MRE stands for freedom of speech. That's a good thing. And this country is, no, he stands for being a bully. When someone comes in your chat room and you disagree with them and you start cursing and swearing at them and saying, get the hell out of my chat room, how is that freedom? He does it all the time. You won't see me do that here. I put up comments where people literally attack me all the time. And if someone gets blocked in my chat room, it's because one of the monitors are doing it, not me. I don't do any of that. Tonto, are you selling signed tomahawks? I'm going to go 10 more minutes. I can't believe I went 2 hours with this show. And we've been well above 200 for those 2 hours. Regina, I thought you thought the 70s and 60s was corny, laughed my ass off. Who said the 60s and 70s were corny? The 60s was probably what ruined this country, because that's when all the radical leftists started being born. And now we got them here. We got them in the White House, Joe Biden, those kind of people. Well, that was a political statement, but I had to say it. I'm sorry. If anybody thinks what's going on right now in Afghanistan's okay, where all these people are being killed and stuff, and our government's allowing it, it's pretty sad. Bullies rock until they're tested, then they drop like a rock. That's true. Carlos Munoz. Dude, man, you got that brown spot on your nose, Carlos. Jeff Naidu rocks. Burrow, Alite, Calandra, Sammy, all right. Well, that's the truth. But you know what? None of them will deny it. I don't know if anybody's blocking him. I hope not. Please don't. The Lord loves Lee Cole III. I hope so. Fat, bald, the JJ. Lee Cole 3. One more time before we end. We got 8 minutes left, people. Regina always gets up here, even though she hates me. She literally hates me. She reminds me of my third wife. I mean, I was with my third wife for about 4 years, maybe. And we did not have one day where we liked each other. I mean, it was horrible. And now we're best friends. I call her all the time. Pretty awesome chick. Lee Cole, you just said because MRI listens to music from the 60s and 70s. No, he listens to pop music from the 60s and 70s. I'm talking about classic rock, not corny pop. Okay, I'm talking about like the Grateful Dead, Clearwater Survivor, the Beatles, the Stones, all those great groups. I'm not talking about like the Carpenters. Lee, are you going to San Francisco? No. I'm just not that kind of guy. Jeff Nadu nearly slid off the table. MRE's life is attacking people. He obviously is protecting the way he wishes death on people. He doesn't know. It's easy to be tough when no one can see you. It would be a cold day in hell when Joey decides to come out and show his face. I'd put $100 on it. Thought he's some sort of tyranny. He's got the camp mannerism and everything. Again, people, Sammy didn't kill that kid. Wrong. Yes, he did kill that kid. Why would you say that? I mean, in the original confession, he said he killed the kid. In the original confession to the FBI. And then that story changed. And I did a whole show on this. And, on top of that, you could speak to the family, the autopsy reports on how the kid died. That's a myth, what you're saying. The kid never ran toward him. The kid was executed. He was shot once in the chest. He fell on the ground and they put a hole in his face. And it doesn't matter whether Sammy did it or Murillo did it, because Sammy was the boss. Sammy could have pulled the trigger, but no matter what, that guy would not have killed that kid if Sammy didn't say kill him. Damn, dude, what's up with you? God, I think you need to get some of that. That's what your problem is. This was just as fun as last night's show. Well, Carlos, I'm glad you hung around, though. We have a damn good show, good people showing up in here. We're going to be on for 5 more minutes, but it's been a really good show. And I think everybody was here tonight, even Gene. So, you can't ask for better than that. You had Fat Ball Sicilian, you had Jimmy Calandra, you had the wannabe Sammy Gavano, the child killer. Okay, let's see. Even if he didn't pull the trigger, he led the team on the hunt. That kid is dead because Sammy, like it or not, exactly. But you know what? There was 2 of them. It was him, and it was Molito. And they were both together. But remember, in his original confession to the FBI, he said, "I shot the kid." People don't bring that up. I'm sure that you will tell little Jeff Nadeau from experience that if he is sensitive, he is, yes, this is, you people in here are very rough. I mean, when you turn on someone like me, you attack, That's why Mob Rat's so popular. He attacks. If you can't take it, don't be here. Just get the hell out of here. Don't do this, because it's brutal. This is probably the worst genre out of all of them. I mean, because people here just think they're gangsters and they're not. And then they go after people and just brutalize them. Robinism says, look, who hasn't accidentally on purpose killed a kid or 2? Okay. Lee, I'm sure you could tell. Okay, we read that one. Oh gosh. I mean, if you're young and you have never listened to Clearwater Survivor, I'll give you a challenge. Go on YouTube, listen to Clearwater Survivor, and you will understand why that group is one of the most underrated groups that ever existed. Happy Meal says, Jeff cried, took his ball, and went home. Act like a man, Jeff. As a society, we have went from celebrating those who deserve it to celebrating thugs and criminals. No, we don't even celebrate thugs and criminals. We celebrate rats. They actually have shows and they're making money and everything. Yes. Creedence Clearwater Survival. Yes. Revival, bozo. She insults me. I'm telling you, this is my ex. It's got to be my ex. Great groups. Eagles. That's my favorite group of all time. I love the Eagles. It's just a fantastic group. Okay. Regina Follinger. Okay. Well, listen, people, that's it. We're going to call it a night. I appreciate everybody being here. I had a heck of a time tonight. And I'll try to come on tomorrow, 5 Eastern again, maybe. But thanks everybody for being here. It was a really pleasurable night. It wasn't too vicious. I thought that I was going to get attacked a little bit worse than this. I won't get attacked until the show is over, but that's okay. But everybody, please come back anytime. And I'll see you tomorrow. And if you had not subscribed, please subscribe. I never asked that. That's my problem. Very rarely will you ever hear me say, please subscribe. But I really would like to get to 2,000. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you. And you all have a nice night.